This week we've got a new trial, Get Hit by Lightning. Now, this trial completely highlights all of the problems with the trial system, and I think it's just quite strange that they've gone and released this after all of the feedback that's come in from trials. And it makes me wonder what decisions the developers are making to decide to release this. Now look, I love Arc Raiders. I think it's a really fun game. The world is awesome. The Arc are really cool. There's so much about this game that's great. But the trial system literally makes no sense. And this perfectly represents why. Get hit by lightning. Now look, I'll show you the best strategy for this. There isn't much of a strategy. You basically take in as many light shields as you can. I went for 6. In fact, I even calculated it perfectly. If you run a light shield, you'll take about 36 damage from a lightning strike if you perfectly get hit by it. Also, it takes 20 damage durability of a light shield, so one light shield is 5 shield recharges worth of health, and you're going to be able to heal yourself up with 1 herbal bandage and 1 fabric. So if you run about 6 or 7 light shields and 30 to 35 shield recharges, and fill the rest of your storage with herbal bandages and stacks of fabric, you've basically got the mathematically perfect way to farm the score. Now, the trouble is, to get the best score, you need to join a fresh electromagnetic storm raid, hope that you get the start of a raid, and then stand still and wait. And then hope that the electromagnetic storm strike lands close enough for you to be able to run into it, and then take the damage. And that's it. You do that over and over and over again for 30 minutes straight. Now, my mind goes to, why did the developers do this? Okay, maybe it's a funny, goofy idea. Standing in front, getting hit by lightning strikes. That sounds fun. But who does this interest? Is it for the casual players? Or is it for the sweats? Is the trial system for casuals? Or is it for sweats? Who is it designed for? Well, if it was designed for casual players, I can't see a world where people who have a limited amount of time to play per week would enjoy standing still for 30 minutes, hoping to get hit by a lightning strike. That doesn't seem fun whatsoever. Sure, I guess the plus side is, if you only care about the 3 stars, you only need to get hit by 4 lightning strikes, which is only going to take about 4 or 5 minutes of your time. Not exactly thrilling gameplay at all. But I suppose that's the best way to do it if you're a casual player. Still, losing that much of your time to go into a raid just to stand still, it doesn't seem fun. And a lot of people have already given their feedback of the Hidden Bunker trial, which is basically the same thing. You stand there and wait for a download progress bar to slowly, gradually fill up. It's not fun. It's not entertaining. There's no skill expression. It's ridiculous. Then let's talk about the sweat side of it. Let's say you want to grind the ranks, right? Maybe you want to get to Cantina Legend or at least Hot Shot to get one of the cool new skins. Well, let's talk about that then. A lot of players that are really dedicated to playing Arc Raiders want to try and find the best strategy and have the best skill to get the highest score. Well, in this case, there is literally 0 skill expression. You stand still and hope that the strike gets close to you, and then sometimes maybe you'll get a double lightning strike. That's not relative to your skill in any way whatsoever. It's just down to luck. It's also down to luck if you spawn into a fresh raid, and in my case, it's down to luck if some random guy from 50 meters away decides to chase you down and try to kill you. And, you know, it's just a funny sequence of events that happened to me. I waited perfectly for the hour so that I knew that I could time getting into a fresh raid so I could get the highest score possible. I go get into a good position, and then some random dude tries to hunt me down and kill me. I kill him, but because of that little sequence of events, I wasn't able to get a good score anymore because I wasted a few minutes trying to kill this guy. So I had to extract and hope that I could join another fresh raid. Time and time again, I didn't join a fresh raid, to the point where I got about 24 minutes in a raid and I thought, well, this is just going to have to do. So whilst I was standing there, hoping that lightning would strike me over and over, occasionally people would run by, and that could affect the lightning strike spawns as well. That was out of my control. There was no way to know if somebody was in the distance or not. Anyway, the point I'm making here is, there's no skill expression here, there's no strategy. It's boring for the casual players. It's boring for the sweats. Also, this trial perfectly illustrates the problem with the trial system in terms of solo versus trios. Standing out in a field and hoping that a lightning strike hits you is a lot easier when 3 of you are doing it. You know, 3 times the potential lightning strikes you could spread out across the map. I'm not sure if this case the points will be shared as a team or if you'll need to get it individually. But usually, most trials will require you to work as a team and you can get the points together and they stack up together. Hopefully, the devs had some foresight and didn't do that. Let me know if you've played as a squad and if you get points stacking up as a trio or not. Now, whilst we're standing out here waiting for the lightning to strike me, I'm going to share my ideas for what I think would improve the trial system because I do think it's a good idea. But it definitely doesn't hit the mark. It's not a fun thing to work towards, and I think it needs a really sort of look at by the devs if they want to make this an engaging feature that brings people back week after week. Firstly, they need to remove the frustration of late raid spawns. If they want to keep late raid spawns, the easiest way to do this, and I think this would make it a lot more enjoyable as well, give yourself a timer. So when you join a raid and engage in a trial activity, for example, damaging a hornet, if that's the trial, then you then have a 15-minute timer that starts, and your trial score will only count for the 15 minutes that you're engaging in the trial. So if you spawn into a late raid and you've only got 18 minutes left, you still have as much of a chance to get a high score as somebody who spawns with a fresh raid, because you're only getting a 15-minute timer to get as many points as possible. This would make it a lot better and completely remove the frustration that is related to there being fresh raids and late raids. You know, if you're trying to grind a score and you've only got a limited amount of time to play, you're basically just rolling the dice on whether or not you get a fresh raid or not, which can be really frustrating when each time you don't get a fresh raid, you have to run to the extract, and try again. I also think they should remove some of the trials that are just based on luck. I mean, Get Hit by Lightning and Deliver Carryables are perfect examples. Deliver Carryables is just based on who else in that lobby is also doing the trial at the same time as you. If you go to Stella Montes and try and open up all of the doors, did you get a lucky raid where other people are doing something else? Or did you get an unlucky one where everyone's trying to do the trial? There's no skill involved in picking up a box and putting it in a wall. It's not skill. There's no skill expression there. It's not fun. There's no strategy involved. It's just literally based on whether or not you get lucky enough to join a fresh raid where nobody else is doing it at the same time as you. It's a luck-based thing that doesn't reward you with any sort of satisfaction. All of the damage-based trials or killing arc trials are definitely where the trial system can shine. I mean, the PvE element and the arc themselves are certainly where things get really interesting. Now, there's a lot of ways they can keep this fresh. I mean, something like damage flying arc enemies inside the spaceport walls is a step in the right direction. It allows you to sort of compete over areas on the map, and you've got to think a bit more strategically about how it works. But there are so many more ways they could take these damage arc trials. For example, what if there's a trial, damage hornets, with only a hairpin? That would certainly give you more of a challenge, and it would feel more like a trial. Or what about something like damage bombardiers without explosives? Instead of it being a constant grind for wolf packs and deadlines, you'd have to really try your best with other weapons. If they want to try and vary up the trials, they should lean more into the damage arc trials and create some more variables there. There are so many different items in the game, and we're basically forced to just use the same thing. Every single week it is deadlines, wolf packs, hull crackers, farm the arc over and over again, and farm snitch scanners as well. I think that's a really boring gameplay loop in itself. The arc are really cool. There are some really creative ways that you can destroy them, and I think that they should lean into that. Overall, there are so many fun things that they could do with the trials that would actually be challenging, require skill and strategy as opposed to luck, and I think most players would enjoy that over these things like Get Hit by Lightning, Deliver Carryables. I would love to hear the developers' thoughts on the trial system and how they plan to improve it. I think it does need a lot of work. Let me know what you think about this new trial, and I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio!